We are the Girls Who Gab.
Ooh,
that was good.
Nice.
I'm Kassie.
I am Bayley.
And, what was next? Oh. Well, real quick, because I feel like we've got to explain something that's definitely happening.
I'm coming with you.
Which is that Bayley has a daughter.
She's 2 years old, and she might drop this right now. Negative.
I'm coming with you.
No, babe. Okay. Hold.
First time for everything, am I right?
There's going to be a third and a fifth and a 10th.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a thing.
It'll be a thing. It'll be great. So today, we are doing our first ever podcast.
Ooh, I know. I'm excited. She does recordings all the time. This is really my first shindig, and I'm excited. I'm pumped.
But with that said, I only ever do YouTube videos, which means that I mostly talk to the camera, and I can easily edit out anything that I don't like.
Any bumps. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I usually fast cut, fast jump, and this is going to be way more
a little bit more raw, I think.
Yeah, and more conversational.
Isn't a bad thing. Yeah.
And I don't know how to turn off my YouTube voice.
Yeah, she does have that. But if it makes you feel any better, I'm a server, so I do have a little bit of a server voice sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
But
and I still go into my server voice plenty of times, when I answer the phone and stuff. It's annoying.
It's a whole mode that you can't turn off.
Yeah.
Once you're in that, so that's exciting.
Mm-hmm. So today we're going to basically be introducing ourselves to the podcast, to the viewers, and some such. And ideally, we do want this podcast to be. This is on YouTube, probably from what the viewers are watching. But we also are planning on doing audio, ideally, right?
Yep.
So that's hopefully coming soon. And today, we're going to introduce ourselves, talk about how we met, how we became friends, and all that good stuff.
Yes. Okay, but first, let's cheers. What are we drinking?
We're drinking, what is it? Brut?
Oh, no, we're drinking the yellow label, the Veuve Cliquette. That's how you say it.
Do you know what brand it is?
The Veuve Cliquette.
It's way over there.
Sorry, I'm pointing.
We cannot see. So it's champagne, and then you're drinking it with
loads of cranberry juice.
Yeah, and I'm drinking it with a pink lemonade, but I did this much champagne.
She's making me look like
3/4 champagne.
Yeah.
But Bailey's a lightweight.
I am a lightweight.
And I'm not.
Yes.
So I gotta keep up with her.
Yep.
Or
also, weren't you doing dry February?
You know,
the 28th.
So I wrote dry February on my whiteboard calendar that I have, and so I wrote it I was technically doing it from the 3rd to the 3rd, not from the 1st to the 1st. And so I wrote it down on there, and then Matt, which is my husband, wrote kind of.
Yeah, I like it. He already
or
knew.
Not so, or something. Not so dry February, I think is what
it says.
And I just left it up there.
I was on his boat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you first told me, I'm like, that's in January.
Yeah, I've done it before, though. I've done dry months.
You have,
And this year, we got too much going on.
I did dry 9 months.
Okay, that doesn't count.
It counts. That's 9 months. That's a long time.
But you had to.
That's fine.
Okay. So, our segment that we want to do.
Yes.
Every podcast, we're going to call it Cheers to That.
Yes.
So, we're going to cheers to that for a positive and or pour one out for a negative of the week. Do you have one of those in mind for yourself?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
You think and listen at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, so what should I start with?
Oh.
Okay, my pour one out, my negative for the week, is that I was so exhausted all week long, and I didn't go to the gym at all. And I am a total gym goer. I go usually 4 to 5 times a week. And no, I went on Monday, and I didn't work out. I was just not there, mentally. And so I did some stretches, and I went in the sauna, and that was it. And then I don't go on Tuesdays and Thursdays anymore because of school. And then Wednesday I just didn't wake up. And then today I was I'd rather edit a video. A video.
Okay, that's a good one. You have been very active and present in the gym the past months. So yeah, that's a pretty big thing for you. I would say.
It sucked. Ugh.
But that's okay. You just have to see it as a positive that you're not going to do it again.
Yeah, and like I'm going on a hike tomorrow, and then on Sunday I'm going to go to my first yoga class in like months because my new work schedule, I haven't been able to go to yoga. But tomorrow I'm off because I have to work tomorrow. And so...
Wait, tomorrow you're off because you have to work tomorrow? What?
I'm off on Sunday because I have to work. Tomorrow is Saturday.
Got it.
I'm sorry. I made that confusing.
No, okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Okay, I would say what did you call it?
Pour one out.
Pour one out for the week is that for those of you who do know me, and Kassie knows me in and out, I think I'm the most positive person, like, on the planet. I'm that friend who is like, yeah, but on the bright side, or, well, if you think about it this, I'm like, it's sometimes annoying, and that's fine. I don't care. You need me in your life. You just don't know it. I had a really bad week this week. I woke up, and I was in a mood, as they would say, on the wrong side of the bed is what I woke up on. And I went to work, and I, like, let it go through the whole day. There wasn't a point in the day where I was like, oh, everything's fine, and I'm chipper and dandy. I went to work, and it, like, dragged on there, and I was just, like, in a mood, and it was so upsetting because that's not me. Yeah. I'm, like, even when I walk into work, I say hi to every human being there. Yeah. I'm so, like, happy and joyful, and, like, even people were like,
what's wrong with you?
What is wrong? Yeah, so I would say that's my...
Yeah, there's just something on. Well, if you are into astrology, which we're going to have an episode all about astrology because I'm super into, like, zodiac signs and stuff like that, and you so much, not so much. So we're going to do that eventually. But Mercury is in retrograde, which is, like, the low point, and it tends to make people really, well, if you believe in all of this stuff, which I do, it makes you, like, everyone kind of down, or, like, in a funk.
Kind of like a full moon?
Yeah, similar. But Mercury in retrograde is a longer line, so it doesn't happen as frequently as the moon cycle.
Okay, got it.
And so sometimes it lasts longer. And more intensely. So Mercury's in retrograde, and maybe that's the problem.
Could be it.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Did that just get brighter? Or am I crazy?
No, I think you're crazy, but I just made really big bug eyes. I'm trying to focus. Oy.
Okay, so cheers to that, though.
Yes.
Do you have a positive in your head?
I don't know. I think my cheers to that would be, well, okay. Yes, I do have a cheers to that. My daughter is getting very, like, she's getting more, like, adventurous, like, in everything she does, and she's talking to herself more, and she's, like, doing more things. So, like, a lot of the times this week I found myself sitting back and, like, just I'm, like, mesmerized by my daughter. It's, like, amazing. I think it was Tuesday morning. I was just sitting on the couch drinking my coffee, had the patio open, and I'm just, like, staring at her play with her toys because she's so independent now, and that's just so crazy.
We're gonna say her name on the podcast, right?
Yes, her name is Amelia.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you were fine with her name being out there.
Yeah.
So, Amelia. Oh, yeah, she is.
So I think that's this week I very much was, like, every day I was, like, wow, like, amazed by her.
And she's almost 3.
I know. I can't.
Yeah, she's really crazy. Like, it's really crazy. Just within the last, I don't know, what would you say, like, last couple of weeks, she, like, finally has my name down and, like, regularly calls me Auntie Kassie, whereas before it was, like, she would get excited and call me a different name. Like, she would call me the other people that are around a little bit more often. And so now she, like, absolutely knows who I am. And it's really fun for me.
her, like, vocal standpoint right now is amazing. Like, her
she talks so much. Yeah. It's crazy, Yeah,
so cute.
Yeah.
What is yours?
I think my cheers to that. Okay, so I recently got a promotion, as you know. Yeah. So I got a promotion at my work, and now I work at a treatment center for teen girls, and before I was a direct care coordinator, so that meant that I was basically like a babysitter for these girls in mental health treatment. Like, I was the person that made sure they got to everything that they have planned on schedule, and, like, was there in the interim between groups and stuff. But now I got a promotion and I work with the alumni, and so I'm basically reaching out to the kids who used to be in treatment and aren't anymore, and, like, checking in with them.
Pardon.
It's okay. Checking in with them and, like, making sure they're okay, and also inviting them to events and planning events and stuff like that. So I've been in the new position, like, when did I get it? Like,
maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I feel.
Yeah, like
but
almost
like officially started. I feel. Yeah.
I think I've officially been in it a month, but I found out I was getting it on January 2nd. I remember. So anyway, I've been in it for like a month, and this week I like actually got to sit down with my immediate boss, who is in charge of so much that she's not even in the state very often because she runs our department on East Coast and West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And for those listening and watching, we're on the West Coast. We're in California. We're in SoCal. And so she's not there all the time. So she just came back and sat down with us yesterday. And like we had a 4-hour meeting with the very small department of us. There's 3 of us plus her, so 4 total.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about our big annual event that we're planning and like got feedback on like how I've been doing for the month. And it was just all really positive. And I was kind of sitting in that like second guessing myself for a minute this week a little bit too, because I haven't had any feedback from her. And then I got feedback and it was, for the most part, I mean, yeah, sure, there was some like
little
constructive
hiccups.
criticism stuff, but all overall very positive and makes me really excited.
Yay, that's exciting.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's a definite cheers to that.
Yeah. So
I like it.
I'm just excited. Like, oh, and I guess another one is that I started school and like feeling very motivated in finishing my very last semester as an interpreting student.
So what are your plans like after that?
In theory, okay, so American Sign Language interpreting, there's a national certification. Go for it. There's a national certification test, and most of the time they recommend that you take 5 years, work in the field for 5 years before you attempt to take it, because 1, it's really expensive, and 2, it's very hard to pass. So anytime that you fail it, you would have to take it again and pay for it.
Right.
It's very expensive. So that's like kind of the general rule of thumb that they offer, but I really am hoping that I will feel confident enough to take it right after I finish this semester, because I feel like that'll be the best time, like the most ready you can be with everything. And like I have a really awesome professor this semester and stuff. I've had her in the past and I just really love how she teaches. So in theory, I'll be taking the test, passing it, because that'll happen.
Positive thinking.
Manifestation.
Yes.
And then I'll pass it and become a full-time interpreter by the end of 2020. Like that's my timeline. Even if I think my more realistic goal is not necessarily passing that test, but still getting a job as a professional interpreter by 2020.
I like it.
By the end of 2020.
I like it.
I think that's the goal.
I think it's realistic. I think you can totally do it.
Yeah. And like, sure, I have high hopes and big dreams, but
like, what other way to do it? I tell Andre that all the time. I'm like, if you don't envision what you truly want and you see other things, like, okay, I'll give
Andre is her
example.
husband. Yes. We gotta introduce these names.
Whoopsie daisies. Okay. I'm like, no, you know who he is. Yeah. So Andre is my husband. We are actually about to hit our 1 year, so that's exciting. But I've known him. We've been together for, I think our real anniversary is March 1st. I think it's gonna be 4 years.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm wrong, love.
No, it is, because she's 3.
Right. It'll be 4 years.
Yeah.
That's accurate. Yep. So, what was I saying? Oh, so the biggest thing that I can, like, compare that to is right now we're looking to move, right, in July. We've decided we're not going to buy, but we're going to do...
You change your mind every 5 minutes, so I don't believe you.
I do. It's accurate, 100%. But 100% we are not going to buy a house because we can't. We're on so many, like, steps right now with getting out of debt, paying both of our cars off.
Debt, not into debt.
Not into debt. Did I say that? That's horrible. Why would I want to do that to myself? Getting out of debt, finish paying off our cars, and be done with that, and then we'll buy a house and be ready.
Yeah.
So we have officially decided that we are going to rent, but we are going to rent, this is my scale. It goes house, and then it goes condo, and then it goes townhouse.
Of course.
So, but Andre keeps, like, saying, like, oh, but what about these apartments? Or da-da-da. I'm like, no, if that's in your vision.
Too. I do not want an apartment.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of it. And I keep telling him, if that's in your vision, if that's what you keep seeing, then that's where we're going to, that's where we're going to end up. And I don't want that. So you need to cancel that out. You need to stop thinking of it. Only imagine houses and so forth. And I think, so that's
yeah, I totally
take
agree
on that. Yeah.
And like we just re-signed our lease, even though I really didn't want to re-sign our lease. We also live in an apartment. And like overall, like I think it was a smart decision, smart financially and all that stuff. It just wasn't what I wanted. And so I've finally come to terms with like, okay, we're going to be here 1 more year. And I keep telling Matt, like, we need to decide right now that we will not sign the lease again. We're not going to. We're not signing the lease again. We will move out. We will move out of an apartment. Like, get any sort of, exactly like your list. Yeah. Just something that's not an apartment. Yeah. And, like... Yeah, you gotta have a definite answer. Yeah, if we have that mindset, then we'll look that way. Yeah, agreed. So... yeah, that's our cheers to that. Yeah, definitely cheers to that. For the record, I'm going to go look at Amelia because I think she's crying. Oh, no. But I can't really tell. So, BRB. Okay, you're back. Okay, yep. Sorry, my daughter had a temper tantrum, so... that's what happens. It's called terrible twos. It is called going into threes also. That's basically what I've heard from every parent ever. It's a thing. Is that it doesn't end at 2. It starts at 2. Yeah. Yeah, it starts and then it continues for the rest of your life. So. Yeah. So, the topic. Yeah, going into our real thing. Yeah, so, like, we want to kind of talk about how we met and, like, where we met and everything. And, yeah, just, like, kind of a little bit about us, too. Like, because the crazy thing, well, I guess not that crazy, but to me it's pretty, like, interesting, I guess, is that we're very different people. Yes. Like, we have similarities. And, like, obviously, our friendship is very strong. But at the same time, we are so different. Yeah, in, like, a lot of ways. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It definitely, there's more differences than similarities. It's crazy. I think so, yeah, for absolutely. Sure. Yeah. So, okay, we met, going back to the restaurant industry topic, that is where we met. We worked at Claim Jumper. That was my life for quite some time. 2014. I think, I remember that. I graduated, and then... I think it had to have been 2014. Yeah, because I met Matt in 2013, and we moved a year later. Yes. Okay, then 2014 it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was grand. I feel like every friendship starts with, oh, we didn't talk at first, and blah, 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 or like... So, what is your first memory? Because I'm curious how our memories are different. Okay, my first memory of when we, like, clicked and when we started, like, talking? No. Before that. The first, like... You training. Interaction. Because I was a trainer. And so I remember... I didn't train with you. Nope, you never trained with me. But I remember, like, other people, like, all of us trainers, we would talk. And so I remember talking about you and, like, where you've come from and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And so more very separated. My first memory of you is... We were both in the manager's office with our manager. I think it was Brett. Yeah. And you were talking about, like friends who were out of town and, like, talking about friends. And this was a person that I did not know yet. And I was just like, what's happening? And so you were talking about all this stuff, like, totally, like common chatter, you know, like, friendship chatter with the manager. And I'm just sitting there, like, waiting to count my cash and, like, get out of here. And, like, we didn't interact. Like, we didn't say hi to each other because I'm a shy person. I'm not. I was obviously having a conversation. You were just, like, because I think I came in when you were already in the middle of the conversation. So, and then, of course, like, I'm a nosy person. Yep. So 100%. I'm just like, I want to hear all of this. So I'm just like. So you didn't mind sitting there waiting? No, I did not. And it was, like, a good, I don't know, it was not a short period of time. No, it was a long time in the office. I remember for sure. Yeah, and then you left, and you said bye to Brett, and you didn't say anything to me, and, like, totally fine. It wasn't, like, actively rude. That's so rude of me. It didn't feel actively rude, but we didn't interact at all in this conversation. I was like, who is this girl? And, like, I could tell by the conversation, what I was getting out of it was that, like, clearly you're, like, highly ranked, so to speak, in our restaurant. Okay. So I was getting the vibe of, like, oh, this is somebody who like is a trainer or who has been here a long time or something, which is interesting because I don't think you had been here that long. No, I had literally, because I graduated in 2013 and I had moved like maybe 5 months after my graduation. So I was fairly new as well. So it felt very different than what was reality based on that interaction that I had. Yeah. But then what was the first, like, what's your memory of the first time we hung out? I'm going to get Amelia. Okay, so the first encounter I remember of us was we sat at booth, what was it, like 103, 104? Was it the 10s? It was the back room. No, I think it was 7s. It was the 7s. Nope, it was the back. It was? Okay. Because I was staring at, like, Tilt to Kill. I thought I remember the cash register being here, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh, but it matters. We were just kidding. That is the first peak of our friendship. Just kidding. No, so anyways, we were sitting just, of course, at the restaurant. It was both after we had just, like, gotten up, but we were still, like, there hanging out. Mm-hmm. And we just sat and we talked. We talked forever.
Yeah, we were, like, counting cash.
Yeah. And we were getting, like, our checkouts ready.
Yeah, and, like, my memory of it was you were already sitting at that table, and then I was like, hey, can I sit with you? And
she wanted to be my friend.
Yeah, and I wanted to be your friend. So I went and sat with you.
Yeah.
And then we ended up sitting there for literally,
I think,
long.
Like an hour, if not more.
I think it was more. Yeah. And, like, we don't know how to not share secrets, so we both were very, like, open, which I think is good overall. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But we, like, share a lot about each other, too. Mm-hmm. So that was, I mean, that's, I think, why I value our friendship so much, is because even from the very beginning, it was, like, very easy
open
to
and
just
honest
open
and
yeah, totally
agreed. That was our first encounter. It was so much fun.
So much fun. I love
it. Yeah, we don't work together anymore. We've moved. That was 5 years ago. 6 years.
How many years is 2014
ago? 6 years ago.
I know. Okay,
that's insane. We've been friends for 6 years.
Every time that time hop comes up and, like, some of those first photos of us pop up, I'm like, how is it so long ago?
You're right.
Like, it feels
seriously.
It's crazy because at the same time, and I think this is, like, true friendship. This is, like, the definition of how this feels, because at the same time it feels like we've been friends forever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time it feels like, how could it have been so long since we've met?
It was like yesterday.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's weird that it's both at the same time.
That's insane. That is so insane to me. Yeah, we've been through a lot, man. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I can, like, say, like, this friendship with you has been, like, the easiest friendship I've by far ever been in. And, like, I have a lot of good friends, but, like, you're the one where I'm like, who's, you are my best friend. Like, you're my person.
Yeah, we do love Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
We should talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, to take on that really quick, I'm going to chime in now. How do you feel about Alex Krev being gone?
I haven't been watching.
Okay, well, you suck. We can't talk about it.
Okay, so let's just talk about Grey's Anatomy. So, like, spoilers for everything, because I don't care if you spoil me. I don't care if you spoil me on the new stuff either, but I've watched up to, what's this season where Amelia, like, we're getting really quick with the spoilers. What's the season where Owen and Amelia go to get married and then they don't get married? And then isn't it the next season after that where Amelia has a brain tumor?
Fudge, you're way far back.
So I'm trying to build up, because I remember Amelia having a brain tumor and then everything is okay. Mm-hmm. So I remember all of that. And then, and then, love you. Oh, what else? I don't know what happens after that. Well, tell me what happens after that, because
I mean, gosh, so much.
Okay, is it after that where DeLuca and the girl that he's, like,
the girl that gets taken away and deported? Yeah,
deported. I've seen all of that. Okay, that's after that?
That's after that.
Okay, so I've seen all of that.
Yeah, that's after.
And, like, is it also after that when Karev and Joe get married?
Yeah, that's after that.
Okay, so I've seen that.
That was, like...
Oh, that's the last season, because that's the season April Kepner leaves.
Yes, that was, like, two seasons ago, I think.
That sounds right.
I feel like that's accurate.
I finished that season. And, like, they played that season.
And Arizona left that same.
Yeah, she goes back to
Cali.
But,
going back to Cali.
In New York.
Yeah, you're right.
They played that season so, like, the way that it was, what's the word? Like advertised
and played out? Oh.
Is that April Kepner was gonna die.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I was so worried.
I was annoyed.
Although I'm not a fan of April Kepner, but...
I love April Kepner, but I was annoyed that they did us dirty like that. Like, how dare you act like you're gonna kill yet another character, because it's not really all that surprising if you do.
Yeah,
and then it's
accurate.
Underwhelming when it wasn't that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna go hard, like you do, because they kill everyone, then how are you gonna not go for it?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know what you mean.
So dumb.
Yeah, no, so much has happened since then. So at first I hated Amelia Shepherd. Like, I just wasn't a fan of her personality and stuff. But I actually, so right now she's pregnant in the show. I think she's pregnant in real life too. Okay, that's a thing?
Yeah. She was also pregnant the season that she started dating Owen.
Yes, I do know that.
She was pregnant during that. And she used a lot of big bags.
Yeah. I actually know that because you told me. You started recognizing, like, oh, she's holding things in front of her. The folders would always be held like this.
So this is a fun fact about me talking about, like, introducing who we are as people. My favorite thing to do is to find in film when they're trying to hide something like a pregnancy, like the actors versus the character, when like product placement stuff, like when it's like very clearly like that's there because they're being paid to get there.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
The other favorite thing to notice is when they use like a piece of the film over and over again. So I'm trying to think of an easy example.
Easy example with that, I feel, is Grey's Anatomy's opening thing. How they always zoom in from Seattle from the top, like kind of things like that, but on a bigger, like
I'm thinking
more in depth
like,
in the show kind of thing.
I'm thinking more like, okay, there's a scene in The Witcher on Netflix where there's a bunch of it's okay, it doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna explain the scene. So there's this scene of dancers in the background, and then you're going back and forth between like watching these random people dance, and then the main characters are talking, watching people dance, watching the main characters dancing. And if you pay attention to the dancers, the same shot happens multiple times. And then they also switch around, but they play that shot at least twice. And I was like, we just watched that. And like most people are not going to catch it because most people aren't paying attention to the dancers. And that's usually because of bad financials, like not having enough money to shoot enough times and stuff. So I love watching for little like blips like that. Or like in Cheaper by the Dozen, there's a scene where the mom...
I just saw that on Disney Plus. I'm gonna watch that.
It's so cute. I love that movie. At the very end, the mom comes and like runs up to the sun, and there's a shot of her from the front where her sunglasses fall off. And no, there's a shot from the back of her where her sunglasses fall off of her head, and then in the next shot they switch it back and she's in the front and her sunglasses are back on the top of her head.
I love watching
like
things like that.
Yeah.
I can't say that I notice things like the same clip shot over again, but I do recognize things like that, like the little bloopers, or how you can tell when two people are talking and then it's filmed from both sides, you know, the back and the front, and like when it's in the back, they're like nodding their head, and then from this point, it's this part. I'm like, ooh, I can't.
Yes, I love that
One of the biggest things that I always remember when I think of that thing is if you watch Twilight. So I'm a huge Twilight nerd, and so is this girl right here. Yeah. I don't remember if it's the first movie or if it's like an eclipse in like in the parts. Or Breaking Dawn. I think. I can't remember, but they're laying in that field of grass or whatever, and she's missing a foot. She is straight up missing a foot. One.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's in the first one.
I can't handle it. Every time I'm like, okay, here it comes, the missing foot. Oh my god! And it's like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you
also
do that?
Just like talk about Twilight in general. That's such bad form editing,
100%,
and acting. Well, directing probably was more accurate because they have a lot of good actors in that movie.
Yes,
so, like,
I know.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it
hilarious?
So bad?
Hilarious.
Oh
I live also for bad acting. Like right now I'm watching this show called Prodigal Son. Super amazing show, but I don't mean to knock on it, but
so distracted by that stuff.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
I cannot get behind it.
Her and her husband Matt, they are very much critiques in that sense. And they feed off of each other, and
I definitely feel like I've gotten worse since dating.
But no, you have.
Because I've been with Matt for 6 years now. Almost 7. Whoa, what? Oh, we're about to hit our 1-year anniversary also. We got married the same year. We're going to have a whole episode about our weddings. Yeah. But I've been with him for so long, and I feel like he's definitely influenced how much of a critique I am. Okay, we talked about ourselves.
Yes.
And how we met.
Yes.
Talked about Grey's Anatomy. The whole point of bringing up Grey's Anatomy was that we started calling each other my person.
My person. Yeah, which I have a ring and it says "You are my person."
Yeah,
and
I bought us both the same one, and I put my finger up because I used to wear it here, but mine is broken and I'm sad.
Yes, well, it's super. Yeah,
it's not broken. It's just like bent so badly that if I even tried to make it able to fit again,
Well, it's one of those that, like, it's not connected, really, so you can, it's probably not meant to be maneuvered, but it is.
When I bought it, it said resizable.
Oh, okay.
So, it is supposed to be bent a little bit.
But the material is just not the greatest for that
invention. Yeah, for sure. Also, if you can hear in the background the sound of a toy, it's because Amelia's driving around on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
So
it is what it is. It's fine. We're gonna leave that in. That's the life of having kids.
Yeah. And I'm on more.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
I want any of them.
I know.
Should we just go into that for a minute?
Yeah.
We'll probably have a whole, like, baby episode, too.
Yeah, we will. We really will.
But you have the one right now.
I have the one. So she's about to be 3. Ideally, I feel like every person, plans out their life before things happen. Marriage, kids, family, blah, blah, blah. Was very, unexpected for me and Andre. We didn't plan. I was 22. He was 23. It wasn't ideal. We had just gotten in our relationship. But it has turned out to be the biggest blessing. So now, always I've wanted lots of kids. I come from a huge family. Huge family.
Which is funny because you only have one sibling.
I do only have one sibling. And we're 6 years apart.
Yeah.
But okay, which it's actually super funny now that you mentioned that, because my mom only had her one brother, and that was
but you have a lot of cousins.
I have a lot of cousins. I actually think it's solely my dad's side that has a big family, because my grandma has 12 brothers and sisters, and each of those kids have 3 to 4 kids, and and then
that's
they
how
have
family
more
is
kids
too, though.
So I think that is why I see a big family, and
it's all the indirect family, the not nuclear side.
Yeah,
of things.
Exactly. And so I see things, and I see them doing things as big families. I'm just oh, I want that so bad. So I want 5 kids.
She goes back and forth. Sometimes she says 4.
Sometimes, yeah, but that's still a lot of kids.
That is still a lot of kids.
Andre wants
I don't want 4.
3. You know what I'm hoping?
Twins?
That no.
Okay, I was gonna say please don't ask for that.
Although I would be cute with twins.
Okay,
my
just
belly
don't
would
talk
be
about
so
it.
big. Okay.
Remember about manifestation? Don't do that.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, no, we don't have twins in our family anyway, so I think all is well. But you never know. Has to start somewhere. So, anyways, we're gonna just knock on the wood table right here. So no, yeah, I want 5 kids. Andre wants 3. I'm hoping that we just have, a bunch of girls, and then the last one just be a boy, because Andre really wants a boy.
One?
No.
Oh, you want to have all girls because then we'll keep trying.
Keep going. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's horrible.
Yeah. No, I think
that is so many. Okay, in comparison, first of all, I'm also older than Bailey. You're
25,
and I'm about to turn 27. So, yeah. Obviously not that much older, but I am a couple years older, and I don't have any kids yet. I have a baby fever to the max.
Yeah.
I've been wanting one basically since Amelia got
born?
No, before that. What's the word?
Got conceived?
Conceived. Since she was conceived, I've been asking for one. In case you didn't hear it, Amelia just went, Mom, I'm going grocery shopping.
Yeah. Okay.
So okay, if I had it my way, I would already have a kid. But, financially speaking, me and Matt are trying to be smart about it, even though we're definitely, mentally ready and everything. We want to be, financially ready, too. So we're trying to be,
yeah,
whatever, annoying about it, if I'm being honest. But,
yeah. So I think you should mention the age of your husband.
Yeah, true. So Matt is, so I'm 27, Matt is 41. So, don't get all weird and annoying about it, please, for those of you watching.
They could not be the most perfect, for each other.
I am going to try to convince Matt to get on an episode of the podcast. We really want to do episodes of, you and Andre talking about your relationship, the wedding, how
having
you guys
kids
met.
and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all
everything.
that. And I want to do the same with Matt. He's a little bit annoying about podcasts. He loves to listen to them, but he's, scared that he's not going to be good at it, I think. So, anyway, that's a whole different thing.
Which totally hits my topic of the quote of the day.
Cool.
Anyways.
I love that. And, yeah, so we're trying to be really smart about finances and stuff with having kids and everything.
Which is great.
Yeah, I know. It's I logically know that, because again, this is the part of, we just don't agree on this. If I was up to me, I would say, there's never a perfect time to have kids. We should do it because we want them.
Mm-hmm,
but in his mind, he's like, we need to at least be. And, like, I totally get it, obviously. But, like, it doesn't make my heart happy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
no, that makes sense. I think it's also hard for you. You have many people around you. I mean, I say many, but, like, your two closest friends, Rachel and Justin, they're now pregnant with their second child, and me, and I think that's
definitely part of it. Sure. Overall, though, I think both Matt and I have talked about this enough times for me to definitely know that we agree, 1 for sure, and 2 maybe.
Yeah.
Like, we're a hardcore 1.5.
I like it. That means the 2 is happening.
It means that it's completely dependent on births. And we'll, like, get more into, like, we're going to have a whole episode on motherhood and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll get more into, like, how your experience was and, like, in theory, what I want without having any experience and stuff. But, like, I also, bare minimum, really, really want to have an all-natural birth. Meaning no drugs. I'm crazy.
That gives me anxiety.
So, like... yeah, like, I've really come to the point of, like, that's, I think, what I really want. So the second one will be dependent on how the pregnancy and birth goes. And, like, those hard parts. Because, like, I mean, not saying all of parenting is hard. Yeah. I've seen it enough to know that there's definitely hard parts that happen later, too. But those first few months, when you're not getting any sleep, the pregnancy can be really hard. The birth can be really hard. All those things.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone is different. So you just... But that's super good that you guys are making that, or I say you guys, you, because it's your body. It's good that you're making this decision now that you want to have a non-natural birth, but you gotta, like, set your mind on that and, like, not go back. Because if you keep going back when it comes time to it, you're gonna change your mind.
Yeah, and
the day that you go to give
right. And I've talked to Rachel. You mentioned Rachel and Justin. Justin is Matt's best friend, and then Rachel is his wife. Rachel had an all-natural birth. Yeah. So I've been able to talk to somebody, like, one-on-one about
I forgot
stuff.
That.
And so she had no drugs. She did it all. Everything was 100%, like, how her body chose to do it. And
it was a good experience. Like, is she going to do it with her second?
I think so.
Wow. That's amazing.
As far as I know, that's her plan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Moving on from birth.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so... The last little segment, I think, I want you to answer how I'm different, and I want to answer how you're different. Like, our perceptions of how we're different from each other.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
We can go, like, one-on-one or whatever.
No. Okay, so you are a very, like, intellectual person, and you're very in-depth with things. I think that's where we're different, and you, like... I don't know how to explain that more. Yeah, see, I'm not in depth. That was so perfect. What? And I'm just more like
go with the flow.
Yeah, definitely go with the flow and not, like, as specific about things. And I think that's where we're different. Yeah. But that's in, like, every aspect. Like, you reading books, that's, like, something, you have your patterns and you have your, like, day-to-day life, and I'm just go to the flow. Yeah, I just think I more go with the flow on everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
My difference that I notice is, like...
This is hard.
Like, you're very about the image.
Yes, 100%.
Like, on Instagram and... like, outfits, like, you're way more likely to not wear an outfit that you've worn for an event before because it's been in pictures before.
Yes.
And same with Amelia, you, like, dress... Well, I mean, she's getting into her personality now, so sometimes she's also, like, a princess.
Yeah.
So she definitely has that personality.
If you couldn't hear in the background, her clicks were her heels. Where in the kitchen... Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I agree.
That's so, like, 100%. You're very much about...
Image, I think, is the best way to...
Yeah, I think the image is the idea. And I don't mean for that to sound negative. I just mean that it's different. Like, because I also, like, just a simple example is, like, I don't get ready if all I have to do is errands. Like, I'm not going to even put on a cute outfit. I'm going to just I don't have enough hair as you can see, to, like, throw up in a bun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw my hair up in a bun. I might not even shower. Like, I'm just gonna leave my house and do what I need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you like to wear heels.
No, that's a good example.
You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely a good example. Because, so, yes, I do wear heels a lot. But I also, like, love my tennis shoes, my Nikes.
True,
so, like,
do.
to where I will wear my Nikes, I will still think about what I look like.
Yeah.
If I put my hair up, it can't just be a messy up. If I, like, I at least have to have, I don't always put makeup on.
This sounds weird, but it sounds, you're very Instagrammable. Like, your life is very Instagrammable.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I think that's, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
no,
saying
I know.
I, like, am too lazy for that.
No, yeah.
Which is funny to me because I do YouTube and stuff. And, like, I've been...
And you always get ready for that, and you're very... Yeah, yep. And you're on social media, too. Like,
yeah, I am. But, like, I don't know. I don't know exactly how to frame what I'm trying to say.
No, but I totally get what you... I get what you're saying. Yep.
Okay, what's something else that we're very different on?
I don't know. I don't think I have anything else.
The one that makes me laugh, that's just a dumb one, is when we both cuss. We both do cuss, okay. But I think I cuss a lot more. And that might be because 100%. You have a daughter.
If you notice earlier in this video, I said fudge.
Yeah.
I was very proud of myself.
So I am way more likely to, if I'm trying to be considerate, especially with the little girl in the house, which I'm not very good at doing, but I also don't cuss at work, and it's crazy.
She's not giving herself enough credit. She is very good around Amelia, because you cuss a lot.
So. I do cuss a lot. Like if you guys will look at my videos, like I cuss all the time in my videos. It doesn't bother me to cuss on the internet. But I haven't cussed at all in this podcast because we didn't actually talk about it ahead of time on if we were going to.
We didn't.
So I chose to not because I know you don't.
I like it.
And so you are more likely to use words like fudge. And the one that makes me laugh every time you do it is you spell out bitch. So that's the only bad word you'll hear in this podcast right now. You say B-I-T-C-H and it makes me laugh every single time.
I do.
And yeah, and I just use all.
I do a lot of things like that. I do a lot I don't like saying this. One too. Fudge. I say fudge. What else? I say cheese and crackers, or cheese and rice. Jesus Christ, which
I do Jesus Christ. I mean, I do say cheese and rice.
Yeah.
But I think I do it more of a joke. Not even from you specifically, but it's just funny to me that. People say cheese and rice.
I've always done things like that. I remember, when Andre and I first got together, he's like, you say the weirdest things. Even to this day, he's like, I can't. And it's just so funny. But I get it from my family. We're so weird. God, the things we say. Not even words, phrases.
Yeah.
Right now on the spot, I can't even think of anything, but...
Yeah. Well, whereas I come from divorced parents, and I lived with my mom, majority of the time. My mom's rule was almost always, even from when I was really young, that as long as you're not cursing at anyone and calling you a bad word, then you can cuss. But she also always said, if you cuss at school and you get in trouble, I'm not saving you.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's your problem. You need to learn, which I think is why I'm so good.
I like that.
I'm in my work setting. I don't cuss. The kids at work, we have a rule at my work that the kids aren't supposed to cuss. And I am one of the strict ones when I was in my other role, when that was more of what my role is. Now it's not so much the same thing. But when I was in that role, I was very strict about cussing. And not every care coordinator is. And they were like, Kassie, you're so like an angel, or stuff like that, saying that I'm, and I had this one really intense conversation with them where I was like, guys, would it surprise you to say that I cuss like a sailor? And they're like, what are you even talking? How can you even say that? Yeah, and they didn't believe it. And I was like, look, I do cuss. I cuss all the time. My best friend gets mad at me because I cuss in front of her daughter all the time.
I remember you used me as an example.
I used you as an example because I was like, I do. But I'm in this setting, so I don't. And so I was basically trying to get the perspective of you're in treatment, and so it's a dumb rule, sure. but you might be learning a good skill of like how
when to
can
turn
you
it off.
Yeah, exactly, because can you imagine going into a job interview and not getting it, not because you're not qualified, but because you accidentally dropped the F-bomb?
Yeah.
Like, and that's why you don't get the job, because that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
So like you got to know your setting, you got to know everything, and so
yeah, no, you're really, really good at it. I know. That's why I said.
Good at it in front of her, though.
I don't think bad though. Like, yeah, I think
no. Trying to catch myself.
You've done
better.
Worse. Yeah, yeah.
Trying to catch myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you? What was the one you thought of? You said, "Oh, I thought of something."
Oh, so this is super funny and like it just makes me laugh. Yeah, our hairstyles. So no, the reason why it's so funny to me and so. And I'm not upset about it. I love her. I think you rock it. You kill it every time. Every time you do something crazy.
And I just dyed my hair today, so this is the first time you've seen the new
fresh.
color.
But I really like it. You look really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that. But like when you shaved your head, like if you look on Instagram, she's like, and you like go through her feed, she was completely shaved and like she's gone through her phases.
Yeah.
Which change often.
Yeah.
But that is something we're so different about. When I got married.
Hold on, for those of you who might not be able to see, in case you're just listening, right now I have short above the shoulder hair and it's bright, dark,
it's like
purple.
Dark purple with a hint of blue, light blues.
Yeah. And
the whole thing.
Bangs, like straight bangs and curled. And then Bailey's hair is long to like elbow length.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep. Elbow length, and it's an ombre, dark brown to blonde. Very very Instagrammable.
There you go again. Yes,
and straight.
Yeah. So I think that's where there's a little thing that we're different. So what I was gonna say is when I got married to Andre, one of my standards, quote unquote, you could say, is I told Cassie, you need natural hair. I told her and her sister.
I hadn't dyed my hair.
No, you hadn't.
A crazy color yet, but my sister had.
But they're known to doing things like that and spur of the moment things. So I told both her and her sister, like, hi, you need natural hair for the wedding.
What's interesting is when you said that to me, because you got married in March and I got married in May.
Yeah.
So we were like almost exactly a month apart because you got married at the end of March and I got married at the beginning of May.
Yeah.
The second you said that, I was like, oh, duh, because I want natural hair for my wedding. Why wouldn't I give the same expectation to you? So like it was not even a question in my mind, at least.
Right.
When you said it, I think I had already planned. However, my hair was still burgundy.
It was still burgundy. So this was like, I mean, not right after you had shaved your head, but it was like a little bit, like definitely a shorter length than it is now. So you couldn't really, I think the reason why you could tell when I was actually looking back at my wedding pictures today is because the dress. So the dress was, it was like the same color, burgundy.
Because the color I had dyed my hair for both your wedding and mine was this. It's like a dark brown that has a red tint to it. So in the sun, you could see the reddish burgundy come out. But that's kind of until November of 2019. That was as colorful as I had ever been. Now I had dyed my hair blonde, black, like the whole spectrum of, so to speak, natural colors. Yeah. But I'd never done crazy colors like it is now. And so that was like my limit of this like reddish hue.
You were rebellious.
Yeah, but I also had to cut my hair for your wedding because I had been growing out the shaved head.
Yes.
And I was attempting to grow it to a pixie cut, like more of what it is right now. But if I had actually let it grow out, it would have been in the worst of the awkward stages, in my opinion, for both of our weddings.
Yeah.
No, I told my hairstylist, I was like, we just got to go back to a pixie cut again. And she was like, but you're so close to being done with growing out this hair to a bob. And I was like, I don't care, it's bad timing, cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also just like my hair, I've never been attached to it. It's the one thing that I've always been very easily able to chop off, like mess around with, so to speak. Like I've done A cuts, I've done it all, like
the whole thing.
The only thing that's relatively new is the color. I've never done crazy colors until November. Was the first time I did it. But I feel like the only time you've really ever cut your hair was that one bob you did that you did not like. We both cut our hair at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, we did cut it at the same time because I remember we were like, oh, let's grow it out and not cut our hair. And like it was a thing. And then
we both did do it. I got my hair down to
you did do
below the nipples.
Yeah, no, you did.
And then I shaved it.
But you look good with short hair. You look really good with short hair.
And it was fun to shave my head for sure. And
yeah.
I think for me, I also I like this length. Like a little bit longer than it is right now is like my perfect length because I want it a little bit longer so that I can put it up in a ponytail or like
do something more than just
a little bit more than a ponytail than I can do right now.
Yes, yeah. A little nib.
Yeah, just like a little tiny bunny tail.
Yeah.
But I like it short because I get annoyed with it. Like I don't like when it's long enough to go in the elbows.
I got you. Or just like feel it on you, like when it tucks in your shirt and you're just like, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's something really small that we're different at, and it's so funny.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like it. Like I said, I think like your hairstyle like fits you really well. You're not. I don't know. I wouldn't say hipster, but you're very much like I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know how to explain it either because like the word Instagrammable fits so well for you, but like what's the word?
I don't know.
I don't have an answer.
But I think hipster is the closest thing that I can come up with.
Is,
you're not.
That is. Okay, so fun fact, when I met Matt, there were 3 Cassies in the city that he grew up in that I met him in, which is hilarious because I never knew a Cassie ever in my life until I went up there. So there was me and then somebody that we worked with and somebody that lived in the same apartment complex as he did, and he called us Hipster Cassie, Nerdy Cassie, and Gangster Cassie.
You are Nerdy Cassie.
No,
what?
I was the Hipster Cassie.
What?
Because even though I totally agree that I am nerdy. Like I 100% call myself a nerd. But
you are.
But you know, like the stereotypical like person who you meet who's like kind of socially awkward and like doesn't know how to hold a real conversation. Yes. All she wants to talk about is like manga or books or whatever. That's stereotypical person that was Nerdy Cassie.
Got it.
And then there was I can't remember if he called her Hood or Gangster Cassie, but she lived in the apartment complex and we don't need to go there because I didn't even know her. So I can't do it. Yeah. But yeah, so he called me Hipster
That
Cassie.
is so fun. Okay, so then that's a perfect word for you.
Yeah.
So then that's what you are.
Yeah. But I'm too lazy to be hipster because I don't get ready enough. They wear a lot of things. They like wear so many rings.
It's very much. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's head.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Okay. So that's funny. So that's it.
I think that's our first episode of the podcast.
Yeah, that is everything. So one thing that we really wanted to do was say something at the end, like a quote or like just an inspirational something, or it doesn't have to be inspirational, just something like great that we heard of the week or whatever.
Yeah.
And so this week it is, and I'm getting it from a book that she bought me.
You are a badass.
Yeah, you are a badass. And it's really, really good. I'm about halfway through. I'm a really slow reader. It's by Jen Sincero. Yes. See? Nerd. Because I don't know how to say that last name. Just kidding. No, but the quote is, and if you've read the book, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but it says, comparison is the fastest way to take the fun out of life. And I think that is so, going back to my positive comment about myself, like, if you just can't, I don't like judgment. I don't do judgment. I don't surround myself with negative people. And I think that is it's such a strong saying. Like, you can't let other people decide your future or decide your present or judge your past. Like, that's not needed, and why would you want that? And I think, like, a take on that to not only take the fun out of life, but, like, take the love, too. Because you gotta love yourself, and you can't. Yeah, I think that's...
And comparing is such an important topic considering, like, we've got, like, in today's world, there's, like, a big body positivity movement. Like, there's a lot to be talking about, like, when we're talking about comparing, whether that's be physical or, like, our achievements or things like that.
Or relationships, family, like... Yeah, everyone has their story.
And it's really hard because, like, social media just is so impactful in, I think... Our generation and under, for sure, is, like, everyone assumes that it's hard because I think a lot of people know that Instagram is not real life or that social media is not real life. It is the perfect picture moments.
Yeah.
But even though we might logically know that, it's really hard to emotionally and mentally, like
disconnect yourself from that type of world.
Yeah, exactly. Like... To look at this, like, what looks like this perfect life and recognize that these are moments in somebody's life, yes, but there might be, even within the moment that person took that picture and posted it, that they might still be upset, or they might have just gotten into a fight, or, you know, there's plenty of stuff that could have happened behind the scenes in that.
Absolutely.
And so comparison, I think, is a really good topic in general.
Yeah, and I think going back to, like, the Instagrammable word and all of that, like, they're, like, oh, Andre hates when I do this, but I'm the type of person that will pick the awkward photo out of anything, and I think you can partake in that too. Like, I don't know, I don't care. So as much as sometimes I look and I'm like, oh, this is like the perfect picture, or like, oh, I don't look good, or why does my hair look like that, or like, yes, I do that, but like at the same time I don't.
Yeah, it's like a mix of whatever. Both.
Yeah.
And
I don't do it because I care what other people are going to say. I do it just because that's who I am.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting too, because even when people do pick the candid photo, so to speak, people still look at it as if,
is it a perfect candid photo?
Yeah. And like,
I agree.
People still see that as like, oh, well, that's the real life. But even looking at those candid photos, and they're great, and like, I love candid photos too. I think they're the best ones usually.
Yeah.
That still doesn't give you the whole picture of like a whole life. Because nobody's gonna there are people who will, but nobody's really gonna go deep down into like the really hard stuff that they might be going through. A lot of times that's all behind closed doors. So you don't get to see the whole picture of somebody's life on social media. I think it's really important.
Yeah,
I agree. Just recognize that.
I agree. So I really like that comparison.
For sure.
Don't do it. Don't compare yourself.
I agree.
Yeah, I like it. Okay.
That's our episode.
That's it. That's so exciting. Yeah, and we're supposed to chug the last of it. I'm empty.
My drink is gone. Specifically left this tiny sip.
did too, and then I kept drinking it because Yeah,
I kept looking at it and being like, I gotta wait.
I noticed it was short and I picked it up. I'm like, well, I can't go back now and set my glass down for those of you that are watching and not just listening. So anyways, that's gone.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's our episode. For those of you watching, you are definitely watching on YouTube, and we really would love it if you would like this video and subscribe. That would be really helpful to us. We are trying to get our podcast for those. I mean, if you're listening to it, it means it's happened. But we're trying to get our podcast up on Apple Podcasts and probably Spotify. I think those are the two we're going to focus on for right now. So if you're listening to it on those things, I would really love it. We would really love it if you would rate it on those things, because that helps, and subscribe to it. All those things. We're really excited.
Yeah. This is the nerves. I'm excited.
Know.
But like good nerves. I'm so excited for us.
It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while now.
Yeah, we actually recently just talked about it. I reached out to her first. I said, hey, I want to do this, and I need your help, because she, like I said in the beginning, she comes from this like YouTube channel and social media standpoint.
We say all of that, but like, I have no subscribers. We're going to pretend to cheers and chug because we don't have any drinks. But we will see you on Monday. That's going to be our weekly schedule.
Gotta drop.